According to sources familiar with the proceedings, no one expected what happened next. The courtroom atmosphere was tense but carefully controlled, the kind of quiet that settles in when everyone believes they understand how the moment will unfold. Both sides waited as the judge reviewed the final notes. There was an unspoken assumption that this was just another procedural step in a long, carefully managed process. Kelly Ripa, long admired for her sharp intelligence, emotional awareness, and composed public presence, reportedly sat focused and still as the ruling was delivered. And in that instant, everything changed. Observers say the energy in the room shifted immediately. What had felt predictable, almost orderly, suddenly became uncertain. You could feel it in the pause that followed, the stillness, the realization that this was not a routine decision, but one with consequences that could echo through the entire divorce. Witnesses claim Kelly was momentarily stunned. There was no outburst, no visible frustration, no immediate reaction at all, just silence. And in high-stakes legal moments, silence is rarely meaningless. Especially for someone known to anticipate every angle, that pause spoke volumes. Legal analysts quietly suggested that the ruling undercut key assumptions her team had built their strategy around. When preparation collides with unpredictability, even the most capable minds are forced to stop and recalibrate. That silence may have been the sound of a plan collapsing or transforming into something far more aggressive. This ruling wasn't minor. It didn't simply adjust timelines or delay hearings. Insiders say it altered the very framework of the divorce itself. It could influence how assets are evaluated, how leverage shifts, and how negotiations proceed from here. In high-profile divorces, momentum is power. One unexpected decision can weaken a negotiating position overnight or embolden the other side to push harder. According to those following closely, this ruling handed Mark Consuelos' camp something invaluable: advantage. While Kelly's reaction reportedly drew attention, Mark's side remained noticeably calm. No celebration, no smug gestures, just quiet assurance. Sources describe it as the confidence of a side that understands something meaningful has shifted in their favor. Mark himself has remained characteristically private. No public statements, no emotional displays. But behind the scenes, this ruling is believed to have strengthened his legal footing considerably. Sometimes the most powerful reaction is no reaction at all. Once word of the ruling spread, the industry responded quickly. Producers, agents, and legal insiders reportedly began exchanging messages almost immediately. The consensus was clear: this was not expected. Many believed this divorce would follow a predictable path: two seasoned public figures, deeply experienced in managing visibility and outcomes, reaching controlled resolutions. This ruling shattered that assumption. Suddenly, nothing feels guaranteed anymore. And unpredictability, as any legal expert will tell you, is the most dangerous element in a battle like this. What's especially striking is how quickly the narrative appears to be shifting. Where Kelly was once widely assumed to hold the upper hand due to her media savvy and emotional intelligence, this ruling has complicated that perception. Media insiders suggest future coverage may now frame the divorce as far more contested and far more volatile than initially believed. For Mark Consuelos, long known as a steady presence, supportive, grounded, and quietly confident, this moment could subtly reposition public perception: less reactive, more strategic, increasingly empowered. But this case isn't just about legal arguments or courtroom wins. It's about legacy, reputation, and control over how this chapter will be remembered in the lives of two people who have spent decades in the public eye. For Kelly, whose professional identity has always balanced warmth with precision, this ruling reportedly cuts deep. For Mark, whose career has often reflected patience and restraint, it may represent a rare moment where waiting pays off. Several legal observers warned this ruling may be only the beginning.
When expected ground is lost, responses can be swift. New motions, reframed arguments, strategic delays, or sudden pushes towards resolution. If Kelly's team counters aggressively, the next phase could become far more intense and far more public. And if Mark's camp presses its advantage, negotiations could take on an entirely different tone. It's easy to forget the human side of stories like this. Beyond the headlines and speculation are two people navigating a moment that will define them for years. Kelly's reported shock is not weakness. It's proof that even the most prepared among us can be blindsided by systems we believe we understand. That moment of silence may become one of the most talked about images of this entire divorce. If this ruling teaches us anything, it's that expectations mean very little in court. The next hearing, the next filing, or the next unexpected turn could shift everything once again. Insiders caution that the most dramatic developments often come after moments like this, when strategies are rewritten and emotions run high. Many believe this story is only now entering its most consequential phase. If you want to stay ahead of every twist, every unexpected decision, and every behind-the-scenes development, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications, because sometimes the quietest moments change everything.